All right, so we're jumping right into this deep dive.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like me, that transition from like the academic world,
Yeah.
being a student, to a like full-blown career was exciting, but also
Oh, yeah.
kind of terrifying.
For sure.
But we have been digging into this course that has some really cool insights, I think,
Absolutely.
to help people kind of navigate this transition.
Yeah, we're going to break it all down into some really actionable steps
I love that.
to help you thrive.
Yes. And speaking of shifts,
Yeah.
one of the things that this course really highlights that I think is so important is this like
Yeah.
mindset shift that
Yeah.
you need to make.
Absolutely.
It's not just about trading in
Right.
your backpack for a briefcase.
Totally.
It's really about how you approach work in general.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is that you're moving from absorbing knowledge to applying it.
Right.
So instead of like proving what you know on an exam,
Yeah.
you're using your skills now to
Yeah.
solve real-world problems.
So less cramming and more brainstorming.
Exactly. And you're often doing that in teams.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
It definitely can be. And it's about becoming proactive,
Right.
like anticipating challenges
Yeah.
and coming up with creative solutions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in school, you were given a problem set.
Uh-huh.
Now you're the one defining the problems
Oh, wow.
and figuring out how to tackle them.
That's a huge shift.
Yeah.
And this course doesn't shy away from another, I think, tricky part of this whole transition, which is
Yeah.
workplace culture.
Totally.
It's like you're entering this whole new world with its own...
Its own unique language,
Yes.
rituals, even power dynamics.
And like even something as simple as communication
Yeah.
can be totally different.
Totally different. Remember like that casual vibe from college just popping into
Totally.
professor's office hours?
Like grabbing a coffee on the way, showing up 5 minutes late.
Right.
Nobody cared.
But in a professional setting, it's all about clear, concise communication, usually through email or scheduled meetings.
Right.
It's about respecting everyone's time
Yeah.
and being really organized with how you present information.
It's almost like in school, it was about
Yeah.
showing your work.
Yeah,
And at work, it's about presenting a polished, well thought out solution.
for sure.
And this course gets even more practical by like highlighting these 3 must-have skills
Yeah,
for crushing it in your career.
absolutely. They're like the trifecta of career success:
Okay, tell me more.
communication, problem solving, and time management.
Okay, so communication, I get why that's important, but isn't that just talking clearly?
That's so much more than just talking, though. Think about it. You're communicating constantly,
Great.
whether it's emails, presentations, or even casual conversations with colleagues.
Right.
Active listening, understanding different communication styles, and adapting to different situations.
So it's not just about conveying information.
Exactly.
It's about building relationships and getting people to buy into your ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about problem solving? I feel like we did a lot of that in college.
You definitely did.
Yeah.
But in the workplace, the stakes are higher, the
Yeah.
problems are more complex, and those solutions need to be practical
Right.
and impactful.
So less about individual brilliance and more about
Yeah.
teamwork and strategic thinking.
Teamwork and strategic thinking,
Okay,
for sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's everybody's favorite,
Oh.
time management.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling stressed just thinking about deadlines and
I hear you. Time management is a constant juggle,
yeah.
especially when you're transitioning into a new career. But here's a little trick. Instead of just making a to-do list,
Okay.
try using a system like the Eisenhower matrix.
What's that?
It helps you prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance,
Oh,
so you're not constantly putting out fires.
I like that. So you're really focusing on the things that move the needle
Yes.
instead of getting bogged down in the busy work.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm already feeling more organized just thinking about that.
Love it.
And speaking of making connections, this course really emphasizes the
Yeah.
power of networking.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about awkwardly standing around
All right.
like a networking event, right?
No, one of the most valuable insights, I think, from this course is that networking is about
Yeah.
building genuine relationships, not just collecting business cards.
Yes, I love that.
So instead of trying to meet as many people as possible at an event,
Right.
focus on having a few meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
Find common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Be genuinely curious about their work.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to share your passions and interests.
It's more about quality than
Yes.
quantity.
Absolutely. and
Okay.
really connecting with people.
Yeah, on a human level.
Human level, exactly.
Okay, so speaking of making a good impression,
Yeah.
this course also tackles the often dreaded
Yes.
job search process.
The job search process. And they highlight something that I think a lot of job seekers overlook.
Okay.
The importance of tailoring your resume and cover letter
Oh, yeah.
to each specific position.
Right.
So instead of sending out a generic application,
Huh.
take the time to research the company and the role.
Yeah.
Highlight the skills and experiences that directly align
Yes.
with their needs.
So it's not just about showing off your accomplishment.
Right.
It's really about how you can add value to their team.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're speaking their language
Yes.
when you do that.
Okay. And what about interviews? Any insider tips on how to nail those?
Practice, practice, practice.
Okay.
It's not just about memorizing answers, but understanding the company's culture, the role's specific responsibilities,
Mm-hmm.
how your skills and experience can contribute to their success.
Okay.
And don't forget the power of asking thoughtful questions.
Oh, yeah.
It shows that you've done your homework
Right.
and that you're genuinely interested in the opportunity.
So we've tackled the mindset shift, the essential skills networking, and even the job search process.
Yes.
But what about those crucial first 90 days in a new role?
That is such a critical period.
Yes.
It's all about making a strong first impression, setting clear goals,
Yeah.
and building positive relationships with your colleagues.
Right.
So instead of waiting for assignments, proactively seek out opportunities to contribute, ask for feedback,
Uh-huh.
and show that you're eager to learn and grow.
It's you're not just doing the job, you're showing that you're a valuable team player
Exactly.
who is invested in their success.
Totally.
And speaking of investing in yourself, this course doesn't shy away from
Yeah.
the importance of work-life balance,
Work-life balance.
which I feel we hear a lot about,
Yes.
but is harder to put into practice.
It definitely is. But what this course does so well is reframe it as work-life integration.
Oh, like that.
Recognizing that it's not about separating those two parts of our lives completely, but
Yeah.
finding a rhythm that works for you.
I love that it's about being present and engaged in both your work
Yeah.
and your personal life
Yes.
without one completely overshadowing the other.
Exactly.
Any practical tips on how to make that happen?
Time blocking is a game changer.
What's that?
Instead of just reacting to your to-do list schedule, dedicated blocks of time
Oh.
for work, personal activities, and even downtime.
Oh, wow.
It helps you create boundaries and ensures you're prioritizing your well-being without sacrificing productivity.
Okay, so it's less about achieving that perfect balance and more about creating
Right.
a sustainable rhythm
Yeah.
that works for you.
That works for you.
And, this all kind of ties into the idea of career advancement.
Absolutely.
It's not just about climbing the ladder. It's about crafting this career journey
Yes.
that is both fulfilling and impactful.
And the course highlights 2 key strategies for continuous advancement:
Okay.
seeking mentorship from experienced professionals
Yeah.
and embracing lifelong learning.
Mentorship can be so transformative.
It can.
Having someone to guide you, share their experiences, and offer honest feedback
Absolutely.
can make all the difference. It's like having your own personal career coach
Yeah.
cheering you on.
I love that.
And lifelong learning is about staying curious, seeking out new knowledge,
Yeah.
continuously developing your skills.
It could be anything from taking online courses and attending workshops to simply reading books
Right?
and staying up to date on industry trends.
So it's about staying relevant
Yes.
and adaptable, but also finding joy
Yeah.
in that process of
Absolutely.
learning and growing.
Yeah.
And speaking of growth, this course
Yeah.
doesn't sugarcoat the fact that challenges are inevitable.
That's right. Setbacks are a part of the journey.
So how do we deal with those unexpected challenges
Yeah.
and setbacks?
That's where the ability to reflect, adapt, and even pivot becomes crucial.
Okay.
This course encourages us to regularly assess our progress,
Mm-hmm.
identify what's working, what's not, and be willing to adjust our course as needed.
So it's instead of getting discouraged by those detours, we can use them as opportunities to reevaluate
Yeah.
our goals, our strategies, and maybe even our overall direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about embracing change, staying flexible, and seeing those setbacks, not as failures,
Right.
but as valuable learning experiences.
It's all about that growth mindset we
Yeah.
talked about earlier.
Love it.
And speaking of growth, in the final part of our deep dive, we are going to explore specific strategies
Yes.
for navigating those inevitable
For sure.
challenges and setbacks
Absolutely.
that come with any career journey.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
Yeah.
In the last part, we talked about making that crucial mindset shift from
Yeah.
student to professional.
Absolutely.
We even tackled those essential skills you need to thrive
For sure.
in the workplace.
Yeah.
Now we're diving into something that might sound a little intimidating.
Yeah. A little bit.
Creating a career development plan. I know,
Yeah.
right? It sounds very official.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little corporate-y, but
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear how this course approaches it.
What I love about it is that they emphasize that a career development plan isn't some rigid document
Right.
that you file away and never look at again.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic roadmap that evolves as you evolve.
Okay, so it's more like a living document, a compass
Exactly.
that guides your journey as
Yeah.
you explore different paths,
Yeah.
discover new interests.
I love that.
Okay, so the course breaks down
Yeah.
this process of creating this plan
It does.
into really manageable steps.
Yeah,
And it starts with identifying your short-term and long-term
Yes.
career goals.
for sure.
So where do you see yourself
Yeah.
in the next year, in 5 years?
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you want to make
Exactly.
in your field?
Yeah. It's like setting those personal New Year's resolutions.
I love that.
But for your career,
Okay, so once you have those goals in mind, what's next?
then it's about identifying those specific skills
Okay.
and experiences
Yeah.
that you'll need to achieve those goals.
Okay.
So let's say you're aiming for a leadership position in the next 5 years.
Okay.
What are those leadership skills you need to develop?
Right.
Do you need to gain experience managing projects or leading teams?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to work on your public speaking skills
Uh-huh.
or your ability to give effective feedback.
Okay, so it's almost like you're creating this checklist of all the things
Yes.
you need to learn and experience
For that.
to reach those goals.
Yeah.
But what if you're not even sure what skills you need?
That's where the power of feedback and mentorship comes in.
Okay.
The course really emphasizes the importance of seeking regular feedback
Yeah.
from peers, supervisors, and mentors.
Yeah.
They can help you identify those blind spots,
Okay.
those areas where you might need to grow
Right.
or develop new skills.
So it's like having a fresh set of eyes on your work and your progress.
Exactly.
And a mentor can be such an invaluable resource.
Oh, for sure.
Having someone who's already navigated the twists and turns of their own career
Absolutely.
can provide incredible guidance and support.
It's like having your own personal career Sherpa,
I love that.
guiding you through that
Yes.
challenging terrain.
Okay, and speaking of navigating those challenges,
Yeah.
this course also emphasizes
It does.
the importance of continuous learning.
Continuous learning for sure.
It's not just about getting that degree and calling it a day, right?
Not at all.
In today's world, things are changing so quickly.
They are.
It feels like as soon as you learn one skill,
Yeah.
a new technology pops up
Uh-huh.
that renders it obsolete.
Right.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
keep those skills sharp?
Well, the course offers some really practical tips
Okay.
for embracing lifelong learning. It could be anything from attending workshops and conferences
Uh-huh.
to taking online courses and subscribing to industry journals and blogs.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be super formal, even just having conversations with people in your field.
Oh, yeah.
Picking their brains about what they're learning, what trends they're seeing,
Right.
can be so valuable.
Yeah, it's like learning doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
Once you graduate,
No.
it's part of your everyday life.
Part of your everyday life.
And you know what else the course highlighted?
What's that?
Something I'm a huge advocate for.
Okay.
The power of reading.
Absolutely. Books can provide such incredible insights,
Yes.
perspectives, inspiration. They can introduce you to new ideas,
Yeah.
challenge your assumptions, and help you see the world
Yeah.
through a different lens.
I think sometimes we forget how much we can learn
Yeah.
from just picking up a book.
It's true.
And speaking of learning from others,
Okay.
I want to circle back to networking,
Yes.
which we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It's not just something you do
Right.
when you're job hunting.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Networking is an ongoing process.
Yeah.
It's about building and nurturing
Uh-huh.
those connections over time.
Okay.
The course suggests attending industry events,
Yeah.
joining professional organizations,
Right.
and engaging with colleagues and thought leaders.
Uh-huh.
on platforms like LinkedIn.
I think the key is to approach networking with a genuine desire to connect with others.
Yes.
To learn from their experiences and to share your own
Absolutely.
knowledge and insights.
It's about building those mutually beneficial relationships.
Yes. And sometimes those chance encounters can lead to unexpected collaborations, new opportunities, or even just a fresh perspective on a challenge that you're facing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how those serendipitous connections can happen when you least expect them.
It's true.
But as much as we plan and prepare, right?
Sometimes life throws us a curveball.
It does.
Things don't always
for sure
go according to plan.
Right. Careers are rarely linear.
Right.
There will be twists and turns, unexpected detours, and maybe even a few roadblocks.
Yeah. So how do we deal with those unexpected challenges and setbacks?
That's where the ability to reflect, adapt, and even pivot becomes crucial. So the course encourages us to regularly assess our progress. Identify what's working, what's not, and be willing to adjust our course.
So instead of getting discouraged by those detours, we can use them as opportunities to reevaluate our goals.
Exactly.
Our strategies.
Yes.
And maybe even our overall direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about embracing change.
Right.
Staying flexible and seeing those setbacks not as failures, but as valuable learning experiences.
It's all about that growth mindset we talked about earlier.
I love it.
And speaking of growth in the final part
of our deep dive, we're going to explore specific strategies for navigating those inevitable challenges and setbacks that come with any career journey.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into navigating that sometimes tricky transition from campus to career.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
From essential skills and networking to creating a dynamic career development plan.
Yes, and now we're tackling something that no one really wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's a reality for all of us, overcoming challenges and setbacks.
Right.
Because let's be honest, no career journey is a perfectly smooth ride.
That's true. There will be moments of doubt, rejection, maybe even a few facepalm-worthy mistakes.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
But what I find so inspiring about this course is that it reframes challenges as opportunities for growth.
I love that.
Not signs that we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's all about shifting our perspective. Yeah. Instead of seeing those obstacles as roadblocks, we can view them as detours that might lead us to even more amazing destinations.
Okay, that's such a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's like when you take that scenic route on a road trip. Yeah. It might take a little longer, but the views are breathtaking, and you discover hidden gems that you wouldn't have found otherwise.
Totally. And the course actually provides a really practical framework for navigating these detours and turning those setbacks into stepping stones.
Okay, tell me how to turn those oops moments into aha moments.
So the first step, and this might sound counterintuitive, is to actually lean into those setbacks.
Okay.
Instead of brushing them under the rug, take some time to analyze what happened.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what could I have done differently? Were there any contributing factors outside of my control?
Right.
What were the underlying causes?
Okay, so it's not about dwelling on the mistake or blaming ourselves, but really like dissecting the situation to understand what happened and why.
Exactly.
Okay, it's almost like a post-game analysis.
It is.
For your career.
Yes.
Okay, and once we've done that analysis, what's next?
Then comes the really valuable part, identifying those lessons learned.
Okay.
Every setback, no matter how big or small, offers valuable insights.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. You pay the tuition for a valuable lesson. Now it's time to extract that knowledge and apply it moving forward.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So instead of seeing it as a failure, we're reframing it
right.
as an investment.
Yes.
In our future growth.
Exactly.
We're learning from those experiences.
Yeah.
And becoming wiser and more resilient.
More resilient.
Okay, so we analyze the situation, extract those lessons.
Yes.
Now what?
It's time to adjust your approach.
Okay.
So this might mean tweaking your strategies, seeking additional support or guidance, or even revising your goals altogether.
Okay, so it's about being flexible and adaptable. Recognizing that sometimes we need to change course.
Yeah.
To reach our destination.
To reach our destination.
And finally, the most important step.
Yes.
Move forward.
Move forward.
Don't dwell on the past.
Yeah.
Use those lessons you've learned to propel yourself toward your goals.
I love that.
It's about having that unshakable belief in yourself
Yeah.
That even though setbacks are part of the journey, they don't define us.
They don't define you. And remember, everyone faces setbacks.
Yeah.
Think about successful entrepreneurs, artists, athletes.
Right.
They all faced countless rejections and obstacles before achieving their breakthrough.
And it's their ability to bounce back, learn from those experiences, adapt their approach that sets them apart.
That's it.
So next time you hit a bump in the road, remember that framework.
Yes.
Analyze, learn, adjust, and move forward.
Love it.
It's a powerful tool for turning those setbacks into stepping stones.
It is.
On the path to success.
Absolutely.
I love that. And as we wrap up this deep dive, let's revisit that core message that is kind of woven throughout this entire course.
This transition from campus to career isn't a one-time event.
Right.
It's a continuous journey of learning growth and adaptation.
And while there will inevitably be challenges, remember you have the tools and the mindset
You do.
to overcome them.
You got there.
Use those insights and strategies we've discussed as a roadmap.
Yeah.
But also remember that it's okay to forge your own path.
Absolutely.
Seek out mentors who inspire you.
Yeah.
Embrace lifelong learning.
Yeah.
Build meaningful connections.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, never stop believing in your own potential.
Love that. And remember, all those insightful resources we mentioned, all those books, those learning platforms, we'll have those listed in the show notes.
Yes, so be sure to check those out. So keep exploring, keep learning, keep those career dreams alive.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep that growth mindset burning bright.